Talk Classic Car. Today we are off to the Old Piggery Cafe, to the regular meet over near Combermere Abbey on the Cheshire-Shropshire border. Dodge hasn't been out for a few weeks. As regulars will know, we have had a few running issues, mainly fuel related, over the last few months or so. So this will be another little bit of a test run just to see if things are settling down okay. It's a lovely day. It's certainly quite a breezy day. I had thought of taking the yellow Peril over there, the MX-5, but I thought we really need to try and take something old. So I spent yesterday fiddling with this and just getting it running, and hopefully, fingers crossed, working okay. It's quite prone to flooding when you start up first thing. If you give it too much choke and too many prods of the accelerator pump, it will actually flood and soak all the plugs, so you have to whip them out, dry everything off, and then start all over again. But hopefully we'll sort of get the technique right. Fingers crossed we will have a good outing to the Old Piggery Cafe. Well, we are here, folks, and we are the first ones here, which is occasionally the case, but we like to get to places nice and early, park up, and then watch the arrivals and the goings on as and when throughout the morning, because there's no point arriving after everyone else has got here. It's a lovely, lovely morning. It was a nice potter over in ye olde dodgy truck. Such a characterful old thing. So what other cars and other vehicles will turn up today? We usually get a mixture of modernish sports cars, interesting modern cars, quite a few old cars as well, so hopefully we'll get a good variety of vehicles here. Whether there'll be any other little light commercials here or not, I do not know. We don't tend to get too many here, do we? No,
trendy, is it?
No, we don't get too many old lorries and things here, but you never know. We had Big Dodge here once last year. We brought that along, which was quite exciting. It's always exciting when we take Big Dodge out. It's a bit of a handful and takes a fair bit of prior planning, but a little Dodge is a little bit easier. Yes, we always have to cut the trees back a little bit. But it's a big car park, and I'm expecting within an hour or so this will start getting quite full, I think. I don't think so. I don't think we're expecting any rain today. There are a few clouds over Shropshire way, but I remain confident that the sun will stay with us throughout the morning. The sun shines on the righteous, as they say, and hopefully that'll be the case for us today, here at the Old Piggery Cafe on the Combermere Business Park. There's our first arrival, TR7 V8. Under the bonnet of this TR7 V8 we have a 4.6 litre engine. Wow, look at that. And the accessibility is still really, really good.
No, I haven't, Brian. I'm going to have a session this afternoon on the petrol. You've got a bit of a... Did you have a good journey here?
Yeah, lovely. I didn't think
There's also a lorry gathering today over at the Midway Cafe. This ERF will be going, I'm sure. I spy a Mark 1 MX-5 pulling in. We're not here in ours today, although Mrs. OCC may turn up later and I'm not quite sure yet. So it may well be that this white example is the sole MX-5 here today, who knows. Still early days though. Now that's very swish, we like that. Shadow 1.
That's a bit more.
Yeah, it's better, isn't it? There's a supercharged Wolseley Hornet. Another bright yellow MX-5. Look at this, an Alpha Sud. Quite a late example of an Alpha Sud. You see, we're prepared for every eventuality today. If we want to sit down, we have chairs. If we break down, we have the recovery A-frame, and over there, many tools, including a tin of petrol, just in case. TVR Chimera. Oh, imp's going.
The end of you, wouldn't it? People don't get that. Especially if you have got something about you, you want to live, you want to exist, it's a place.
Well, Mrs. OCC has arrived. There we go, two Mark 1s together. I think this is a UNOS import, I think this one. It's had a few subtle mods, but it's the same colour. It's quite cool to see the two yellow ones together. Isn't this Shadow 1 a beauty? What a stunning dark green colour. Absolutely wonderful. And all the chrome front, all the chrome bumpers of the early cars in particular really set them off for beautiful. It's one of those cars where to buy a good one, there's a chunk of money now. You can buy a cheap one for very little indeed, but they're still expensive cars to run even if you buy them on the cheap. But yeah. What a handsome machine that is. Some fantastic badges on the front of this one as well. So what have we got? The Rolls-Royce Enthusiast Club, the Royal Corps of Transport, and the St. Christopher, the patron saint of travellers. Yeah. That's a really smart looking car. I do like that a lot. And little picnic tables. We approve of those. Really good looking car, I think. It's not every day you see these Fiat coupes either. This one's a very shiny one in a lovely metallic blue. So what are those wheels? Are they Speedwell or... Oh, they're the BRM wheels, aren't they? Just see that now. Oh yeah, Speedwell BRM, MP Riverside, USA. If you saw one of the recent Hopley House meetings videos, you'll remember seeing this somewhat modified Ford V8 coupe of the 1930s. Yeah, it's had a roof chop, but otherwise looks fairly standard. It's a big V8 engine under the bonnet of that one.
Well, yeah, it's not quite standard.
Not quite, no.
Yeah, debumpered V8 auto.
What have we got going on over here? I can see an E-Type reversing.
Yeah, overshot it.
Yeah.
Two in.
No?
Oh no, that's just the late one.
This Mark 1 we saw arriving earlier on. A few mods under the bonnet of this one. Oh, super clean car. This is on a G registration. It's quite an early example of the breed. A Unos, again a Japanese market car. And an Audi TT.
Look at this coming in. Yeah. There is one doing the rounds. It's I think it was a supermarket. Yeah, there's one more that's on complete virgin. Sort of
Beautiful MGC Roadster here with a factory hardtop on it. Yeah, lovely, lovely car. Hardtops, the factory hardtops are fiberglass, whereas on Spitfires and such like the hardtops were made of steel. On the MGBs and the MGCs, they were always fiberglass as far as I know. This looks like a factory roof on it. There were some aftermarket roofs available. I'm not quite sure what the fittings on here are for, but it looks like a proper roof to me. Yeah, nice. Yeah, very nice. On the G, huge exhaust, big stainless exhaust.
What's G? You should know.
Sort of 68-ish, isn't it? Something like that.
Early for a single.
Yeah. Something fruity coming in, a little Caterham 7 or something. Yeah. Yeah, some interesting cars here today, a mix of old and new. A fantastic XJ-S, facelifted XJ-S we saw wafting in before, very, very quiet indeed. And this stunning MG, we see this one at many, many of the classic car meets that we go to around here. It's always lovely to see it out and about. Peugeot 205, really clean example. This one's on the early 205 GTI wheels.
It's an auto.
It's an auto, my youthful assistant advises. Bright yellow Lancia Delta Integrale, we like yellow. An immaculate MGB Roadster. 2003 Morgan, that's a 2-litre V-twin engine in the front of that. The engine apparently is based on a Harley-Davidson design, but it's not actually produced by Harley, but it's based on their design. And I'm sure that goes very, very well indeed. Fantastic VW Cabriolet. Cars are still arriving, that's always good to see. This MGB Roadster we've seen on one or two occasions fitted with a Bermuda hardtop, but the hardtop's off now for the summer.
I think those look just fantastic.
What, the Cerberus?
Yeah, they just look so sleek.
XK150.
Not a diesel. Thank you.
This one's been upgraded to a 1000cc bike engine, hence Bond Bug 1000 ES. It's usually
38 brake horsepower per ton.
what is it? It's usually 700 ES. Oh, yeah, what a super clean example this is.
60 brake horsepower.
160 brake.
It's go well, wasn't it?
That's fairly terrifying.
There you go. That's the bike, isn't it? I was just reading off there.
Oh, yeah.
Sequential. It sounded like sequential on the way in.
Yeah.
It's sort of clunking, you know. It's brilliant, isn't it?
That looks like a fun car to have a ride in. Fun or terrifying. Yeah. I'm not quite sure whether it's terrifying or fun, but probably a mixture of both.
Terrifying if you're the passenger, I'd say. Fun.
Yeah, being a passenger I think would be quite exhilarating. That's probably the word.
This is just brilliant though, isn't it?
Got a 600cc BMW R60 here. So what else have we got here? Let's have a quick scoot down here. A Lotus 135R 928 Porsche. Big front engine V8 powered GT. And a Mark 1 Golf GTI. Jaguar. McLaren. There's a fantastic little Wolseley Hornet. 911 Carrera, proper 70s one. Do like that a lot, that sounds fantastic. A huge V8 bi-turbo Merc alongside, and of course, a fantastic little Bond bug. Okay, so what have we got here? That XK150 fixed head coupe. This one lives locally. I know the owner of this one, he owned it for many years and he sold it and regretted it and bought it back again. Who'd do a thing like that? I think Harley's quite impressed. I owned a pickup truck 3 times, the little Ford, and the Amazon twice, the green one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This is just lovely, isn't it?
They are a stylish machine, aren't they? Very different to the XK120.
It's probably a lot more sort of.
Although you can see the DNA of the early car, but very different shape.
Easier to own.
I don't know. It's probably a bit more refined, I would have thought.
It's more of a GT, as the 120 is more of a sort of sports racing car, isn't it?
Yeah.
I really like this touch as well. That's
Yes.
140 and 150.
Yeah. Certainly a classy looking motor, aren't they?
I don't understand how often in these tracks the gear loop was pointing really weird ways. Always like somewhere where you don't think it'd normally be.
Yeah, very funny angle, isn't it? Can't really see through the window, but yeah. A very classy machine indeed. Next to the XK150 we've got this fantastic replica of a Porsche 356 Speedster with a much lower windscreen frame compared to your regular 356s. Yeah. Again, a lovely turned out car. Such a beautiful little Beetle, this one. I've seen this one here before, but yeah, it's lovely, lovely car. Proper Carmen convertible, cabriolet rather. Next to that, the Stingray that we saw driving in before. Plenty of engine lurking away here.
It took the Ferrari 458 to outdo it, didn't it, on the per litre output, until the 458 came out. It was 2000, wasn't it? With about 120 horsepower per litre. Put turbos in now, don't they?
Next to the TT, we've got a Vanden Plas 1500, the VDP version of the Austin Allegro. This is a super original car, this one. I've seen this once or twice at various different events. But there aren't many that are this clean still around. We've even got a little glass on the picnic table there. Grandad used to do that with his VDP 1300.
It's like the smaller version of that Rolls, I guess.
I guess so, yeah. So you even got chrome rear fog lights. This was definitely a plush motor car of the era. And there's no mention of Allegro, I don't think, in any of the original sales leaflets for these cars.
Lift thing to get into reverse.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a super clean car, that is. These TTs are quite handsome. I think modern classic, definitely future classic. Is it? Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else we've got further down here. There's been 1 or 2 arrivals since we walked down here last time. We have another Vanden Plas, this time based on the little Rover 200 of the mid-1980s, somewhere around about there. Yeah, you can see the VP on the wheel trims, and on the little stripes there on the side. Vanden Plas Rover on an E-plate. So it's about 87, somewhere around there. All the way from Canterbury, the original dealer supplier sticker. Yeah, that's a rare car, that is. Automatic as well. Yeah. Oops. A little Lotus just pulling in with motorcycle behind. Let's stick with the Rover for a little while longer. Even got headlamp washer jets. Definitely a sign of a luxury car of the 1980s. So this and the Allegro based VDP here today. All we need is the little AD016 Vanden Plas 1300 and we've got the full set almost. Yeah, super rare car. Sneaking up on us from behind there, little Abarth Fiat. Escort Cosworth V5 Golf Estate. And over here at the end we have this gorgeous split screen VW. This has been getting a lot of attention here this morning. Lots of people hovering around photographing this beauty, and I can see why. Isn't that fantastic? Split opening windscreen. Beautiful interior as well. Full length opening roof.
You can stand up in it.
Yeah, is that a normal fitting on one of these? I don't know. I don't know anything about VWs really. Yeah, must make it lovely and airy just sit in the back of there. Yeah. Matching cushions as well. Beautiful trim table, Formica table.
Wow.
It's just wonderful, isn't it? Lovely little thing. Very straight as well. You see these around, and often they're a little bit wavy down the side, but this one looks super clean. Everything fairly easy to get at.
I guess once you understand one of these engines, you understand all of them.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
No matter if it's in a B2 or like this.
So you've got the 2 side doors. I'm sure that's got a particular name in the world of VW. Someone let me know in the comments what it is exactly we're looking at here. What variant of the split window VW are we looking at? Definitely one of the most characterful vehicles here today.
On legit Rolls-Royce as well.
So I'm a quick peek in through the window. Another TVR arrival. We've already seen a very modified pre-war Ford V8, and here a post-war British Ford, presumably with V8 power. Looks like it's based around the Pop, or maybe in Anglia. Much lowered roofline. Very, very different to our little old Anglia sat at home. Pops have been hot rodded since the beginning of time. Cobra.
Wow.
We've got two E-types here today, and both examples are very late Series 1s.
Those two look lovely together.
Yeah, they look good, don't they? Late Series 1 because it's still got the slim lights on the front, but by this point in time it had lost the glass covers over the headlamps, because those early E-types, the headlamps weren't all that effective. If you saw the video I did recently of the Avro Heritage at Woodford car meeting, I was speaking to the gent with the DB5, and he had some fairly firm comments about E-types, and particularly the effectiveness of the headlights on the very early Series 1s. But yeah, lovely car, this one.
It's like the Courier Cops, isn't it?
Yes, it's that sort of blue. Fantastic Volvo estate here, the antique dealer's favourite. Yeah, it's a cool looking machine, isn't it? Our 129 SL Mercedes. Some fast forward arrivals down here, starting with this XR4i Sierra, 2.8 litre V6 engine under the bonnet of that one, about 1984 or thereabouts. Next to this wild looking Merc, we've got this souped up Ford 100e. I think this one was here probably last month. Yeah, 1959 Ford Anglia 100e, many modifications. One time that would have been home to a little 1172cc side valve engine. It's got an ST170 engine. Well, that bobs along pretty well. I like the filler cap.
Loads of 100Es around, aren't there?
Yeah.
And this is quite an interesting way to...
Yeah, well, I mean, Fords have been modified since the beginning of time. Quite a cool fabric. Very special looking fuel tank in the back of that. And right near the entrance, in fast forward corner, we have this wonderful Anglia Super. The little Alpha Sud is on its way home. Funny, if we were on the train the other day and we spotted an abandoned one of those not all that far from here, about 15 miles from here. We spotted an abandoned one in the corner of a yard.
Okay, well I can't do that because I've got a handful of rubbish.
You don't see these Audi Quattros too often either.
Porsche just before Abarth, and so see them around. I nearly bought one, but it was a later one, a really late one. It was like an AC. Yeah. You know, you had your feet and you pulled a canopy over your legs.
Another 928 Porsche here today. Yep, it's a manual S4.
Really bad with the manual one.
Yeah, I like these front engine V8. Proper GT. Car of the year 1978, the early examples of the 928.
That's a later car now.
Cerbra's going.
Such a low roofline, isn't it?
Seating deployed. Quite a rare Mark 1 Ford Fiesta. Is that a Super Sport?
Love the decal.
Yeah, it looks like a Super Sport. Yep, Super Sport. There we go. Project Bobcat. That was the name of the Fiesta when it was being developed in-house at Ford's in the 1970s. It's a super clean example, that is. You don't see many good ones of those. We've seen this one at the Midway a few times. Two different generations of Vanden Plas Princess parked together briefly here at Combermere. Wonder which is rarer, this one or that one? There's probably not much in it, to be honest. And they've been joined in picnic table corner by that lovely Shadow one. Well, the cars are starting to depart the cafe now. It's approaching midday, so I think we will probably leave. Both safely back at home now. It's great that Mrs. OCC brought the MX-5 down and managed to park it next to the other Mark 1. What a bit of luck that was. And here is the Dodge safely tucked away again after a successful trip over to the Old Piggery Cafe. That was good, so we'll do a few more little local test runs like that, and hopefully things will just settle down quite nicely, because it'd be nice to have this one where it's more or less on the button. Yeah, safely tucked away next to the big one, which I must get this one out sometime as well. Well, hello folks, we find ourselves in Sierra in Portugal. We're just here for a couple of days and we're just having a quick wander around here. And what should we see here but not just an old fire station, but look in the window here. Apologies for the reflections folks, but I couldn't not have a quick look in here. We've got an old Bedford fire truck. How exciting is that? It all looks restored. I'm not quite sure what this place is used for now. Yeah. Next to that, an old Chevrolet. But you can just about see that. There's a lot of reflections, but you know, I'm recording this on my phone, so it's not going to be brilliant. But what a treat. I wasn't expecting to see anything interesting here, but yeah, 3 lovely old fire trucks, and look at that one on the end there. Beautiful, 30s I think, early 1930s Chevrolet. Wow. Just goes to show wherever you go, you might just spot a little gem. We've got 3 of them here. What a beautiful Chevrolet that is.